Hey people, got another tutorial for you today. This one's a skull tutorial, and that is kind of like the old school kind of style, the old school term, but it's a bit more new school because it's a bit more detailed. It's not overly basic, but you'll better follow it easy enough. And got a shout out today. The shout out today is to, forgive me if I get these names wrong, but you got box 1, box 2. You have Henry Matikainen. I'm sure I'm pronouncing that wrong. Might be right though. But yeah, he's really cool in that he does like car designs and stuff. You know, really kind of cool looking ones. And that he uploads very regularly. And the other one is Eleanor Bushen. And she does a lot of paintings and a lot of stuff. She's really cool as well. So yeah, check them out, subscribe, comment, do the works. And yeah, enjoy the video. And I will see you next time. Hey people, got a skull tutorial for today. Skull tutorial it is rather. This one's going to be more kind of like the old school kind of tattoo ones. Well, kind of like the old school. It's more like a new school one because it's a bit more detailed than the old school ones are. But yeah, I thought I'd teach you something nice, flash and fancy. So to start off with, I'm going to make a shape like this. Big circle. Then kind of like a little box shape underneath. With a little line flick and a little line flick that way. Basically, this is going to be the top of the skull. This is going to be the jaw. Very simple. And if you want to make him face this way, just flip this bit around so you have like the box here, little line flick that side. Okay, facing that way, flip over to make him face this way. Right. Then I'm gonna just put in some basic little bits. Little circle shape there for the nose, circle there for the eye, circle there for the eye. And that is going to give you a basic idea of roughly where you want to put these bits. Now I'm going to switch over to pen. And now I'm going to start off with the nose. The nose, I'll make sure I'm not in the light this time. Right, the nose. I'm going to bring a line across, kind of like that, a little curve. Then bring from this edge, the line coming down, curving back around, curving up, and flicking in, like that. You can do it a number of ways, but this is just a quick, easy way for you guys to learn. And it looks pretty cool. Now the other side, bring it out a bit wider, curve in, the same curve you're doing on the other side, but just bring it to a little flick like that. See? Like a J shape in reverse. And that. Then along the side, we done first on this bit, bring a line up going parallel to that line. So the same shape, just a little bit further out. See, like that? So it's not touching, it's just a little bit further out. When you get to the top, curve back like that, curve like that. Simple. That makes the bridge. Now here, just bring a little flick out like that. That brings up the other shade for the nose. From here, you see we've got the circle for the eye. You want to start from this corner. You want to drag a line going down like this. And once you get here, you want to come out more and make kind of like a kind of ziggy-zaggy kind of pattern, flicking out that way. I know it looks a little bit random, but it makes sense in a minute. Now we're going to bring an eye shape round. So now for this, we're going to make like a big kind of almost circular shape. So we're going to bring this out, curving this way. Once we get to the side line, I want to get a bit more stiff and a bit more straight. So you're curving like that, going up pretty high. You want the eye to be pretty big. And join it back around. See, just like that. And what you can do, you ain't got to do this, but this is just one of the things I like to do when I do these skulls. Bring a line on the inside, almost mirroring that inside bit, but then curving like that. It makes sense when we colour that bit in, but trust me, that's a cool little detail for now. Now the other side, from that little corner bit on the nose, we're going to drag a line up, going outwards. But once you get to the edge of the eye, you want to bring this out, curve it back in a bit, curve it back around, and join up around there. And again, just bring that line, similar like we've done on that one. And that. Now, depending on the shape, you can make a lot of different expressions. You know, I'm teaching you a kind of basic expression at the moment. But you could have like one eye bigger than the other to make them look kind of cocky or, you know, surprised if you want. Surprise kind of works with the teeth as well, like, depending on the kind of shape you've got them in. But this is just generally a nice school pose. And that. Where should we go to next? Should we go teeth or cheekbone? No, we'll do teeth. Right. Now, following the nose, if you sort of like imagine a line going down from the top, down that centre bit in the nose, coming down here, this is where you want your first tooth to begin. Now, your teeth are going to be like giant oval shapes. Kind of like that. You want to go fairly close to the nose, you want to leave a little gap though. Now, do one for the centre tooth, one for the tooth next to it. Now, each of these ovals is going to be 2 teeth. So that's going to be the top tooth and the bottom tooth. We're going to do a line through the middle to separate them. Babish. And now we're going to do another one. And as you get out to the side, you want to get slightly smaller with your oval shapes. If you want to be making smiling, you want these teeth to be going up higher. See, like this. And once you get to that last tooth, you can kind of, instead of making like a full oval shape, you can kind of go to the edge bit like that. And it looks like the teeth's kind of curving around. You see what I mean? Again, bring this one out. 1, 2. And you ain't got to be accurate at the number of teeth. You can do as many or as few as you want. And that. We get to here. And now that I got to about this one, you know, getting close to that line, I'm going to start having it kind of overlap a little bit, like we've done on the other side. So it looks like the teeth are curving back as the jawline goes back. And I'll stop there. Then just do a nice big slice down the middle of them. I put mine at an angle, so it's got like a bit of curve to it. But it's nice and simple, it's easy to follow. Now, starting out from this side, the outside of the eye bit here, you're on a line kind of going parallel. Now you can throw in a few little bump bits for detail, like I'm just going to do here. You know, just simple little curves. Once you get to the brow, you want this to come up high and follow that shape of the eye. Simple like that. Now, carrying down from the bottom, you're going to make the cheekbone. You want to go this to go outwards, and as you come down, you can randomise the shapes you want, but generally you want it to follow almost like a circular shape. So if you imagine like a little circle here, you want that to follow that. But when you get to here, you want to make like a curve shape here. Going to bring this in, a little zigzag bit, coming there. Now you want this line to go in a little bit further than the teeth. And I'm going to show you why now, because the front jaw bit always kind of overlaps and you get like a little under bit. So from the outside here, curve out and join that under that line. See? Simple. Now, see we've done this squiggly line? We're going to do another one just going this way. So if you go here, squiggly, 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 stop. Now we'll put in some detail lines later on, but now we're going to go back to the teeth. I'm going to put in just a really simple little detail bit that I like to put on the teeth, and that's where you got the circle shape. I'm going to go to the top, a little bit higher, and down on them. See, like that? So you make like a little loop over each tooth. Really quick, really simple, but it just makes the teeth look so much more interesting. And do that for the bottom as well. If at this point you thought you'd done your teeth too big, you can always do this circular shape on the inside to shrink the teeth down a little bit. That's always a handy little trick if you want to correct it. But I quite like the size I got them, so I'm going to keep them that size. It's got a nice big smile. Alright, now coming down the jaw bit, This bit you can vary up, but I'm going to teach you a really nice way to do like a really nice shapely jaw. Get a line here, curve inwards, like that, to a point. Get a little curved line like that coming down. Then you want a curved line coming inwards. So you kind of like that. Then you want a line overlapping that, so going higher, dragging across, coming down low, lower than this side. Key point here. If this bit's higher than this, it doesn't look right. Bring this point out, kind of like that. Another little bit. Bring this out this way. Curve this up. Make like a circular shape like this. And flick this bit out for now. It makes sense in a minute. You can do two little lines here if you want to shape off this cool little jaw. Like that. Then come back to. Should we drag it over? I'll go this way. We'll do this bit. Start on a line, roughly a couple of teeth in. And that bit higher. So between the eye and the edge, just a little bit closer to the teeth. A few teeth this way. Bring the kind of squiggly line. Going this way. Come up to a point. Coming out. It's like a little bit over here. And now you can shape this bit off if you want, but you don't have to. I like this bit to be a little bit curved. Because we're going to bring this bit in to make the side bit here, which is going to generally make the brow. So where we've done this little curve, bring this back around, come back up, mimic that side of the eye, just going a bit higher at the top to make the brow, bring that in like that, and then once over here, bring a curve out that way, like that. Now looking at this point, I feel that the head is too small. Sometimes you find that your baseline was a bit too small. You've got to use your eyes to try and sort of see whether you feel it is that case. So now when I do the head shape, I'm going to go a little bit higher than my guideline was. Just going to curve that like a really nice good line, really nice strong line, coming around like that. See, nice curve to the top. You can shape it off, you can have it like circular, you can have it almost like square so it comes to a point, which gives it a bit of attitude. And that, or if you're not too comfortable, it goes like a bandana or something over the top, you know, give them a bit of attitude. It always looks pretty cool. But, yeah. Coming back down the bottom jaw bit now. Off the edge of the teeth, little line curving up, joining up, under that little bit we done at the beginning. Now where we done this circular shape at the bottom of the jaw, bring this curve up, and bring that right under that curve bit. And then bring another line, going like the opposite way to that. Just join up to the side of the teeth. That makes the bone shape to the bottom bit of that jaw. Which is quite simple, but very effective. And that. Now we're going to put in a few little detail lines. These you can really kind of play around with and do yourself, but I'm going to just teach you a few that look pretty cool. Excuse me. Right, line from the middle bit, squiggly, getting bigger, to a point. From that point, line going this way, squiggly, getting bigger, joining to the outside of the skull. From that point we started again, going the other way, going up high a bit, squiggly, joining to the edge of the skull. Put a few dots around that, dot, dot, dot. And that, above the nose, I'm going to put a few little detail lines, so just little flicks, going across, kind of like that. Very simple but very effective. And that. Then I'm going to put a few more squiggly lines in. I'm going to have one big crack going up the top of the head. So going up here, squiggling out a little bit, squiggling up like that. And now, just going to throw in some random bits. You'll see me do these, you can just imitate these. These are just random lines on different bits. Okay, I'm just copying the outline there to get a little bit of detail. Just bring a little squiggly line there. Little line from the teeth to make it look like a bit of shape to them. And that here, I'm going to have like just a few little breaks come off of this bit. You know, this is pretty much just like lines going across. You can do the same thing on the other side. And that little line down the side of the nose here. I'll flick. A couple of ones going underneath the eyes. I'm going to put. Now this is where you can just really play around and just customize it yourself. Just throw in some random lines that you think look cool. If you're worried about messing it up, use a pencil first. You know, if your pencil line doesn't look good, you can just rub it out. But yeah, do that and see. Line come up here. We'll flick down that way. You know, yeah, it looks pretty cool. Now I'm just going to throw in a few little extra bits. These bits ain't necessary, but they just look pretty cool. Like you could, if you was to colour it in, you could just black out the eyes, or you could shade them in. You know, for this, I'm going to put. Oh no, I'm going to put 2 candlesticks going in the eyes. So if we say, actually, I'll go straight in the pen so you see this better. A line going up a bit. Line coming across like that. Little flick. Little flame shape. Come off the side that, go out wider. Make like a drip effect. It's quite easy, you just kind of drag it out, then like a little curve at the bottom. Do the same thing on the other side. Make the drip a bit longer this time though. Connect that candle bit down there. Maybe a lovely little candle wax dripping there. Yeah, I quite like that. Now let's do a similar one on the other side. Like that. Down, little flick outwards. Line going down. I mean, you could put anything in the eyes, you know, if you want to make it interesting. You could put flowers in it, you could put actual eyeballs, candles, creatures, lightning bolts, diamonds, yeah, just about anything. When it comes to old school, it's all about design, you know, it doesn't have to make sense, just play about with it. Right, and yeah, I'm going to put a banner underneath just to make this cool look cool. Do a nice little simple banner, you know, you just basically follow like a curved line like that, identical underneath, little flick going this way, little flick going that way. Then I'm going to put 2 roses on the side. You just say, actually I'll just do straight in pen, see a lot better. Follow my rose tutorial, get the gist of this. Right, now we've got the basic laid out. I'm going to teach you how to colour it. So, what colour should I go for? I tell you what, I'll do the skull in basic black and white so you get an idea of the shading. Grey. It's my laptop grey. Yeah, that'll do. I think so. Or is it? Nope, it's a green one. And where the hell is my other grey gone? There we go. Got it. Right. If you haven't got these, you can always do some pencil. But these are trio markers. You see me using them in quite a few of my videos. You can use water paints for this as well. And that, I'll tell you what to do for different bits, you know, different sections. Excuse me. But yeah, I'm going to start off first with a light shape. You know. And I'm going to put in like some basic shading bits. And that. Now what I like to do, one of the key things I like to do, especially with these kind of skulls, is to just put in a few things that make it different. Like I like putting the circular shapes. That's what I do here. So I'm putting a few like really big circles there. You see them? And then what I'll do is I'll shade around them, leaving them hollow. I'll go over these with a darker one, but when I go over the top, you're going to have these bits kind of sort of showing through, and they give like a little bit of detail to the skull. And that you can also do it the other way around. You know, just do some good solid kind of circular shapes, like I do over here. Which always looks pretty cool. And that when you go over the top, you get like that dark sort of shade through it. If you're doing that with pencil, you know, just do that. If you're doing it with water paints, do that, but then let it dry before you put the next layer on. And that. Then what I'm going to do along a lot of these lines, I'm going to go up to the edge, and a few of them I'm not going to go up to the edge. Like here, see this nose bit? This is like an edge that I want to go up to. But you see that squirrely line? I'm going to shade, but I'm not going to touch that line. I'm going to leave a little bit of distance. Again, this just changes it up, which gives it a pretty cool effect. See, so I put a little shade underneath, if you can see that. And then I was going to put a little bit touching on the other side and going down the eye a bit. The inside of these eyes, just flick out from the side, like that. And flick out from that side. Same for that end of it. Same for that side. Now when you get to these side bits, like you know the brows, we're not going to touch the line, we're just going to go close to it. And again just flick inwards. Kind of like that. Yeah. I'll tell you what, I'm just going to go straight into the darker shading. And you've seen the gist of that. If you want to do that first and you can build it up, that's a quick, easy way of doing it. But if you want a quicker way, like I'm going to show you now, this is like a darker grey. And because sometimes it does help if you put your dark stuff in first. And then go, well, I'll first put my light stuff in, then go over it in dark, but then go over again in light. And what that does, that basically smooths out a lot of the edges I want. If you're using watercolour, you generally would just want to put in your dark areas, then just like water that out. Just fan it out with the water. You know, like putting like, you know, grey, dry your brush, just a little bit of water and just fan off the edge. And that'll give the effect you want. You got to remember, when you're doing darker, you don't want to flick out as much as what your light colours go. Because you're going to use your light colours to blend out. So we say that. Looking at there. I'm going to keep doing this around certain key areas. On the inside of the eye. Generally, the only time I'm really going to touch the line, and that's if I feel the shades going underneath it. Like see here, I want this bit to stand up and that colour to go underneath it. You know. Other than that, I'm generally not going to go up to the lines. So put like a shade under this bit of the eye. Kind of like the corner bit here. When you're doing realistic, you want to really sort of work out where your light's coming from. But when you're doing these kind of styles, you don't particularly need to know. You can just play about whatever you think looks good. You know, it doesn't matter if it makes sense with this style. No. We'll flick out there. We'll be off this bit of the nose. Just underneath that brow bit. To me, that's a key area you always want to shade, this little bit underneath here. Now this just kind of gives a bit of 3Dness to the head. Now, so if the light's coming down, the light would always sort of miss that bit usually. Just give me a nice line going up this way. Following the outside bit. This little line under here, I'm going to go up to this line. A little ziggy one we done. But then bringing it back, I'm not going to touch the outer line. You see, touch that line, I'm not touching this line. Well, a little bit there, but that was an accident. Just flicking underneath this. Yeah, flicking out that way. In this area, I kind of like to do like almost like a little triangle shape. So you're not actually touching any line. You're just putting a little dark shade in that gap of the jaw bit there. And then from here and on the other side, touch the line and flick out. You can do the same this side, but I generally tend not to. Not for any particular reason, just generally don't. I'm going to give a little flick. This is just another little detail bit I'm doing. Of each tooth just kind of going that way. See, like that. Don't have to do that. I'm just doing it for the hell of it. Same thing on the top. And then drag this around. Little line. I'm not going to touch the cracky bits. I'm going to avoid them. Just going between them. Just a little bit of flicking out here. Not too much, just a little. And then we have like basic shading on the outside bit of the skull. I'm just going to fan out a lot of that shading with the lighter one. Like I told you, I like to go over it with light. Just the white, yeah. Good thing with trio markers, if you just generally keep going over the same area, it kind of bleeds. Now you don't want to bleed too much because it'll give a weird effect to the pen and the paper. But if you do a little bit, it will just blend out that colour. So just keep flicking on those dark shades on the edges. If you're using water paint, just keep, using just water and no colour to blend out your edges. Using pencil, just go lighter. Simple. Right. And that'll cover up the basic shading for that bit for now. Still more to come. Ain't finished yet. And that next bit, I'm going to get me a yellow. I'm going to colour in the centre of those flame bits like a yellow for now. And this is like an old school technique, this isn't realistic. This is just like a decorative one. Almost like a teardrop shape. So if you imagine like a circle, sort of fanning out to a point. You basically want this, like flicking off the light. So you're making like a sort of circular shape around the light. And do that on the other side as well. Like that. And then what I like to do is just bring a little line across that top of the candle, underneath that line, and just a little bit down the edge, not all the way, just a little bit. So it's almost like colour glow. So if you imagine the light from the candle hitting the light from the flame hitting the candle. And now that's done, I'm going to blacken the rest of it. If you don't want to black it in, you can shade it in. You could do like sort of fading out to like a red. That's the eyes coloured in. I'm going to do the same thing for the nose. I'm just going to blacken the nose, except for a bit I'll show you in a sec. So your motion following that line bit that way, up to the edge, shade it around, down to this bottom bit, kind of flick here, and leave a little trace of that line. See, I just didn't touch it, just went around it and came up to the point. Black out this little hole bit on the bottom here. I'm going to black out this one. And I'm also going to blacken a few teeth to make it look like he's missing a couple. I think my favourite ones I like doing usually. Like doing that one. One over here. Give me some two teeth, and I'm going to give him a gold tooth as well. Yeah. Gold tooth, just bring like an orange, flick it around, leave a little white centre. Kind of like that. I give him two. He deserves two. There you go. Two gold teeth. Right. Now I've done that, I'm going to take my black muckle and I'm going to bring the black line, thick black line, around the entire skull. Only touching the edge of it though. The inside bit you want to miss, you don't want to touch. Just want to thicken up that entire line around the outside. See, just like that, around the outside. Now we're going to do the same thing just around the roses and the banner, but treat them as one, so only go on the bits on the outside. See, like this bit here doesn't go on the outside, so I'm not going to touch that. Now I brought the black line out around that. Now I'm just going to colour in the roses quickly. If you want to know how to do this, just check out my rose tutorial. And I've got a couple on there, they teach you everything you need to know about roses. Real simple. Alright people, there you have it. I just put in a basic colour in the roses, colour in the banner, some little black dots that I've seen me doing quite a lot of my videos, and just a bit of flick with the yellow. And that, but yeah, it just gives like a really sort of cool, effective, kind of easy skill to do. And that, you know, once you sort of done the basic, once you learn how to do this, you'll easily learn how to adapt it into like much more complicated ones. You know, but this is such a great template to learn how to do better ones from. You know, you learn that just like adjusting like little lines on the nose, you know, putting bits around it, like different things, and you learn to put different bits with it. Like where is it? Got another one in here. Yeah, I mean, you sort of change it up like a dead skull. I can teach you this style if you want, and that. You know, you can mix it up, put a snake, you know, in between, you know, like some sort of like ornate stuff around the nose. You know, gold around the lips, gold there. You know, different type of roses. You know, put like a green, like, you know, flowers in the middle, bit of rope coming out. You know, this is the premises, this is the basic. This is the base for adjusting any kind of skull you want. You know, it's the perfect skull in my opinion. And that, so, yeah, I hope that helps. And that, you know, do what you can with it, and that if you do any pictures and that, you know, upload them somewhere. Send me the links. You know, I'm always really interested in seeing what people can do. And that, so if you do something with my art, you know, just send me a picture and like, you know, let me take a look. You know, I love seeing other people's artwork. And any advice, just give me a call. Give me a call. Send me a message. And that, yeah, anything else you'd like me to draw, just drop a comment and that, And like always, you know, keep an eye out for the shout out. If you want to shout out, just subscribe and leave a comment below. And that, I hope you enjoyed it. The next one I'll probably teach how to do a sugar skull. You know, the Day of the Dead skull one. You know, the skull with all the ornate stuff on, like all the detail bits, like, you know, the flowers around the eyes, little curvy bits. I'll teach you a different angle. I'll teach like a straight up version, you know, very traditional type. And then maybe afterwards I might teach you a realistic one, or move on to something else. And I'm pretty sure someone asked me to do something recently. I remember, I think it was Japanese flowers. I'll teach you at some point as well. But anything else, you know, I'm going to be doing these all the time. So, you know, if you like this, subscribe. You're going to see loads more. And but yeah, that's it for today. How to do an old school, new school skull by The Broken Puppet. I hope you enjoyed. And I will see you people next time. Enjoy.